I don't know about you, and I don't know about you, but when I heard this, I was like, okay, greatest bass line ever.
Greatest bass line ever.
Yeah, Thundercat, them changes off 2017's Drunk. We've got a cool Isley Brothers drum loop, Footsteps in the Dark, and yeah, we're playing big multi-string F basses, right? Scott's got a 6, I've got the banana bass, the 5.
Yeah.
But never fear, if you don't have a 6 or a 5, stick around to the end of the video and we're gonna show you how to play it on a 4.
But first, we're gonna show you how to play it on these things here. And what's really interesting about this track, and that's something like I hadn't spotted until we sat down today and we're like, okay, let's do this video, is that the original was not recorded on, well, maybe it was one bass, but it's not one bass track.
Right.
It's 2.
Yes.
And you might have seen Thundercat doing like this whole thing. With the whole effects on, and we're actually going to show you what effects we're using as well later in this video. But you might have heard Thundercat doing that. It's not all on one bass though, and the effects aren't all on one bass.
Right.
There's one clean bass, he's doing this thing. That's the clean bass.
Yep.
And then the envelope squiggly phaser thing is what's going on the other bass.
Yeah, it's just octaves.
So what we're going to do now is play you the original so you can hear it. I want you to listen out for the 2 bass parts. The clean bass part, which hasn't got any effects on. Yeah, listen for that, and then listen out for the filter on the other bass as well. Super interesting. Check it out.
I didn't know what was going on at first. Is it 1 bass? Is it 2? Is it 3? You know?
We thought it could have been 3 at one point. Yeah. But it's just 2 basses.
Yes.
The clean bass and then the bass with the effects on. But so many people think it's 1 bass because obviously Thundercat, when he goes out and gigs this thing, he has to do everything on his own.
Right.
On his own. So should we play them a clip of Thundercat playing this so you can see how he does it? And then I'm going to show you the chords on the bass, and then we're going to show you how to do it on a 4-string as well, which I want to do because I don't know how to play it on a 4-string. Ian's going to show us today. And any of the stuff that we do today, the tab and notation, we've done it completely for free for you, okay? You can grab it in the link in the description down below, print it off, and then work on it in your own time. So here's Thundercat doing them changes live. And just check out how awesome this is.
Bright filter.
Really bright, yeah. Oh, and he sings at the same time.
There's blood on the floor.
And this is more like the original octaves in this part.
Where did it go? Did I leave it in the cold?
So natural, isn't
it?
Good Lord.
Outrageous.
Hey, you found the isolateds too.
I did. Do you want to hear them?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's really cool to hear that clean arpeggiated bass in isolation and then the sort of like Mogi octave sub bass thing.
So this is Thundercat playing this in isolation from the original record. And then he mixes that with the affected bass, with the filter. So good, man.
Oh.
So good. Okay, so you 6-stringers out there, grab your basses. We're going in, but remember, we're going to show you exactly how to do this on a 4-string as well. you might want to limber up a little bit. Do some stretches because this is it's a little bit of a beast. So that first chord, okay, you're on the B there with your first finger. You've got the fifth. You've got the major third there down on the G string here, and then the top note is right up there, played with the little finger, which is a B flat, I think. Yeah, I'm like lost on this thing, right? So that's your first chord.
So B major 7, right?
Yeah, B major 7, yeah.
Yeah.
So then you come down to the 3rd fret, and this is a G, like a... it's some notes from G. You've got a G, you've got the 5th, and then you're barring this, okay, and you've got that B flat there on, okay, which is the minor 3rd of B. And then on the top there, ooh, nice, you've got the flat 7 of the chord, right? So it's like a G minor 7, but just spread across the entire thing. Then, so we've got, then we move up 1 fret, play the same thing.
G sharp minor 7.
G sharp minor 7, yeah. Then you come all the way up here, and actually, you're not using the E string anymore at this point. And it's like an F sus chord.
Yeah.
So you've got F, you've got the 5th, the flat 7, and then that top 11th there on top.
Be called like a F7 sus or what? What do you call that? Jim.
F7 sus? Yeah?
Yeah.
It'd be F711.
F711.
F711. And then the next chord is the same thing but on an E flat.
Yeah.
Right? So you just move down 2 frets. So you've got the chords.
Yeah.
But then you've got the actual articulation, which is...
You're like rolling it.
Exactly. I'm going thumb, index, and then
Ooh, 2.
hitting those 2 at the same time.
These 2 fingers?
Yeah, with my middle finger and my ring finger.
Yeah. Wow.
Tab down below, remember.
And then live sometimes he
Live is
unsusses that last one,
live
right?
he sometimes goes...
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Right.
And sometimes he's like... And then before we get on to playing on the 4 string, should we talk about effects a bit? Like me personally, we're using different things here. I've got a micro pog.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of different things it does, but basically, let me put it on so you can hear it. So I've got nothing else on here.
It's octave up.
It's an octave up. It does different things, like it's got a sub-octave in there as well, so I could take all of the octave up off. But I've actually got that all the way off. I've just got the octave all the way up there, and then I've got dry on about 1 o'clock as well.
So, even blend of your dry signal and the octave up signal.
Exactly, but it doesn't sound what it needs to yet, and that's why I've got the discombobulator.
I love this thing, dude.
Yeah, which is like an envelope filter, so I'm going to put that on. Let me just play it on its own first. So this is the envelope filter on its own.
Very cool.
But if I put the pog on, the octave up, now it's not what Thundercat's using on the actual original. He's using a Pigtronics. What was it, Jim? Jim's like, what?
Envelope phaser.
Jim is like our fact checker, and you can see right now that he was poised, ready behind. He was not looking at basses on reverb. Were you, Jim? Guilt riddled right now, just let me tell you. Yeah, so just, again, envelope filter and the micropod. What are you using on yours? Do you want to show them the bass line that you were playing as well before you get into the effects?
Yes.
Jim, go for it.
Pigtronics bass envelope phaser.
Pigtronics bass envelope filter.
But
that was it.
No, that isn't it, because he definitely has a pitch wham, like a whammy,
he's got a whammy
in front.
Yeah.
And it's really important to say the order, too. You're running into the Pog first.
Yeah.
Right? And then the filter. Yeah.
Yeah, because you want the filter to actually affect the octave up.
Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly right.
Yeah.
I'm doing actually a pretty similar thing. I have just a tiny bit of octave up in the HX stomp here. And I have then an envelope filter on the end of that doesn't open too big unless I really hit it hard. And then just a touch of like wide sweeping phaser, but not much at all. So when I'm playing this bass line,
and that's just octaves, right?
yeah, so I'm literally just playing a B, the octave, G, octave, A flat, octave, F, octave. And then he does that. Oh, that figure's so cool.
Yeah, mate.
I mean,
good.
It's so fun, and without those sounds, I mean, obviously you can do this clean, and that actually might be great. Like, don't focus on having to get all these pedals. Just the feel is the thing, right? And what I'm doing there is I'm really playing pretty light on that bottom octave.
Yeah.
And then really snapping the top octave. Yeah, that's the vibe of it, right?
Yeah.
And then that snap really makes then the envelope filter pop out. Yeah.
What? Like a duck quacking, isn't it?
Yeah.
Quack.
Yeah.
Should we grab the 4 strings? Back with you in just a second.
Okay, so we have 4 strings here. Now, to do this on a 4, I'm gonna start out with not using any envelope filter or pitch up, just to get these chords together. So, a simple, no fifth, B major 7 chord, right? Yep. Now we're gonna come down and play a simple no fifth G minor 7 chord. Yep. Half step up. A flat minor 7, F sus, F7, F11, F7, F sus, and then we're coming down to E flat, sus.
If you want to see all those chords again, we've got the tab notation and stuff like that written out. The link is in the description to take you to the page. You can get all of the workbook for free.
Yeah.
So before you put the gubbins on, the gubbins, should we just play it without the up to speed? So
Yeah. And check out what Scott's doing. He's rolling his fingers, right? So you're using your thumb and index and middle finger to get that arpeggio roll. Yep. And then you're letting off that chord, because it's not this, right? It's not this, right? It's boom, boom, da. Super short note at the top. It's not this, right? Right.
it's more.
Super short note at the end. Yeah, that's it.
You kind of got to play them. That last chord, you've got to play the. You can't go. You know.
Oh yeah, you need it all.
Oh, are you doing all of it? That.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. Were you just doing 2?
Yeah. Yeah, on that one, we're just moving that pinky down there. And that's kind of like the arpeggiated version. You could also do the chord version.
Oh, right. That's cool. Like if someone else were playing the bass line.
Yeah, and then should we put the juice on?
Yeah, so back to the envelope filter, pitch up, and it gives you that vibe.
Yeah. You do the arpeggiated. That sounds wicked. Did we do it, Ian?
I think we did.
Did we do it, guys?
Yeah.
Come on, did we do it? Yes! Ah! Remember, you can get the tab and notation for this lesson down below in that description. It's completely free. Go get it. You can print it out at home.
If this content has brought you any value whatsoever, please like, subscribe to the channel. It helps us make more of it for you. And in this series of greatest bass lines ever, there are so many. There's so many that I love, that you love. But what do you love? Let us know in the comments below who we should do next. We read this stuff. We're gonna get back to you. We're gonna make that video for you.
Just an hour-long loop.
You can just practice this for an hour. In the breeze, dude.
Yeah.
Just in the breeze.
I'm just gonna drive to this. that's like a real flex, isn't it? What are you listening to?
Just the Isley Brothers' Footsteps in the Dark drum group for an hour.
Yeah.